Hey YouTube, it's MrLuBuFu. My voice is finally back, so now I can finish up my 2013 core set analysis. Thank you guys for your patience. So let's just go ahead and hop right in. Once again, these are on the public domain, so everyone can look at them. I'll put a link in the description. First, we have Blood Reckoning. 4-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks you or a Planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life. Doesn't seem that good. I mean, if you're in some hyper-aggressive black deck, maybe, but otherwise, eh. Oh, before I forget, yeah, this is mostly limited implications, not standard. Next, you have Bloodhunter Bat. It's a 4-mana 2/2 flyer that when it enters the battlefield, it drains life for 2, which is not atrocious. I mean, 2/2 flyer for 4 is a little bit high-costed, especially with the number of X2 flyers running around, but it's not that bad. I would say, if you need a card for your deck, it's okay. Next, you have Bloodthorn Vampire. I'm glad they reprinted this. This is a fun one to play around with if you have like active treason and other things like that. It used to be somewhat of a combo, not really, but it's a fun little deck. Otherwise, I mean, it's not like great or anything. I don't want to give it more than what it's worth, but it has its fun combos. Next, we have Cower and Fear. 3-mana instant. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. This doesn't seem that bad, because if they're attacking, you cast this, you can gain value where they think they might be trading. But there are not a lot of 1/1s, so it's likely not going to be a Plague Wind. So now we have Crippling Blight. 1-mana enchant creature gets -1/-1 and can't block. Again, there's not a lot of 1/1s. Maybe you want to play one of this in any deck you build, but it's not great. Dark Favor. This was a lot better in M12, where you could just slap it on a hexproof guy or something. Here it's never like insane. Okay, no, I can't say that. Any Magic card can be insane. This one's okay. Next, we have Diabolic Revelation. Not gonna see much standard play unless someone builds the Battle of Wits deck, because you need all the tutors you can get in that deck. Otherwise, it's kind of just expensive for limited. Maybe it's worth it, because tutors are not atrocious if you have the right deck. Next, you have Disciple of Bolas. 4-mana 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice another creature. You gain X life, draw X cards. This guy's pretty good. If you have the opportunity to try it out, it seems pretty good for limited. Standard, just a little bit pricey. If it was 3-mana, it would be so much better. Next, you have Disentomb. Solid reprint. It could be playable, probably not. Duress is also okay. It certainly has more standard implications than limited, but so if you're playing standard and you need your black spell to mess with their hand, that's a good one. Next, you have Duskmantle Prowler. It's a 4-mana 2/2 haste exalted. I mean, I think it's okay, not anything too good. But I would argue it's, if you need a 20th card or something, it's solid. Next, you have Duty Bound Dead. 1-mana 0/2 exalted that with 4 mana has regenerate. I think that because of the number of 2/2s, this is not as good as it could be. It's not bad because exalted is pretty powerful. But it's not. I mean, if it was a 0/3, it'd be so much better. Next, you have Essence Drain, which is a very good removal spell for limited. 5 mana, deals 3 damage to target creature player. You gain 3 life. A little bit expensive, but it's still pretty good. Next, you have Giant Scorpion. 3 mana, 1/3 Death Touch, which I think is going to be better because of all the 2/2s running around. Not great, but it's going to be pretty good. Nice defensive creature. Wow. Next we have Harbor Bandit. 3 mana 2/2 gets +1/+1 as long as you control an island, and you can make it unblockable. Where if you're blue-black, this card is very good. Otherwise, just don't play it. I mean, this entire cycle, if you're on those colors, the cards are very powerful. If you're not, it's just not even worth playing. Next, you have Knight of Infamy. 2 mana 2/1 pretty good if you get the opportunity to play it. It's certainly solid. Liliana. In Limited, you should play her just because most Planeswalkers are good. In Standard, I have heard rumors that, like with every time a new set comes out, people are trying to make mono black work. So maybe she sees play there. Otherwise, meh. Liliana's Shade is also not bad. It's a shade, and so it just gives +1/+1. If you're heavy on the block, it can be a decent thing. It doesn't have flying, which is important to know. Next, you have Mark of the Vampire. 4 mana, enchant creature gets +2/+2 and lifelink. Not that good. Mind Draw's okay, maybe a 1-of in your decks. You play it when they have 2 cards in their hand, because otherwise they get to keep their best card. Next, we have both Murder and Mutilate, both very powerful. You kind of want to build your deck more around Mutilate, but Murder is solid removal spell, so if you removal is very powerful in Limited, just flat out. Next, you have Nephrox, Overlord of Grixis. This guy is just a complete bomb. Take him if you open him in your sealed pool or in draft. Phylactery Lich takes a little bit of work, but there's enough good artifacts in the set that I think if you're heavy on the black, it could be okay. The way to think is, unless you're mono black, think of it as like a 5-drop, 5 or a 6. So next you have Public Execution, which I think is a very powerful combat trick, because it's a 6 mana, it's to destroy a creature, and each other creature that player controls gets -2/-0. So it's a removal spell. But if they're like alpha striking and you get to cast this, you can blow them out of the water, and things that they think they trade, they just lose. 6 mana is a lot though, so they might be hesitant. Next we have Ravenous Rats. It's okay. It's a 1/1 for 2. They make them discard a card. It's not amazing, it's not great. Rise from the Grave is very powerful. It's very solid, and you get it's certainly one of the power uncommons of the set. Servant of Nephrox, a 3/1 for 3 Exalted, seems pretty good. Simian Inspector is insane. So 4 mana 2/2 flyer that when it deals combat damage, they reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card, you search their graveyard, hand, and library for all cards, and then get rid of it. I really want to make this guy work in Limited. Maybe it's just my want to have fun with Magic. But this guy seems insane. Like, if you're able to hit with him, like you can just ruin some decks. Next you have Sign in Blood. 2 mana, target player draws 2 cards, loses 2 life. Again, more support for that mono black deck that people are trying to make. Tormented Soul's nowhere near as good as it was in M12 because Bloodthirst is gone. So I think it's okay. It could be reasonable if you have enough Exalted, but otherwise no. Vampire Nighthawk is really good. Unless you're not playing black, you should play Vampire Nighthawk anytime you are. Nocturnus is also okay. You have to be heavier on the black to make it work. But it could be fine. You just make sure you can support the triple black, so think of it again like a 5 or a 6 drop if you're not. Next you have Veilborn Ghoul, which is not good at all. It's a 4/1, can't block. When a swamp enters battlefield, you can put it from your graveyard to your hand. It's not that good. Vile Rebirth has amazing flavor. Exile target creature card from a graveyard, put a 2/2 black zombie. Ultimately, it's not going to, or it rarely is going to be a 2/2 for 1 on turn 1, because you have to be on the draw, right? And your opponent would have to play a 1 mana spell, not creature. So yeah, Delver plays Ponder sometimes, but that means they don't have a Delver in hand. So it's not great. We have a reprint of Walking Corpse. which is, okay. We have the misprinted Wit's End, 7 mana, your pathetic. Right there. Typo. Sorry, you have to point it out. Everyone makes mistakes. Wizards is not any different. Hell, I make typos all the time. So when it happens, you just gotta look at it, you gotta smile, say, oh, made a mistake, move on. Wit's End is not good, by the way, but Zathrid Gorgon is very good. Very, very good in limited. And then Zombie Goliath, I think, is gonna be okay, again, because of the number of 2/2s and stuff like that. It's gonna be an okay 5-drop. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Check out the rest of the other parts.